From SMPostcards again. So today in this video I have a bunch of things to go over. I'm going to walk you through on some of the cards that we sold on our eBay and our Etsy and our HipPostcard store. And then I have a special topic, vignette postcards. A lot of people know what these postcards are, but I don't know if they know the exact name of them. So I'm going to go through some of the research I've done on those cards and the history. And then I have another postcard terminology term. Everybody knows, zip code. The history of the zip code and some of the features. Then instead of a short video or some other things, I have some viewer comments that I'll bring up and discuss for the conversation today. Again, as I go through these cards that sold, it's not about the dollars or the number of cards, it's the variety. What are people searching for? And as you'll see, there'll be chrome cards, divided back, linens, mountains, boats, all birds, animals. You're going to see all the different things. So when you go to the antique malls, the flea markets, or even buying on eBay, the lots, you'll get a better understanding if you're going to be able to sell those cards. A lot of people ask me what postcards sell. They all do. You just got to get the right price, get the right title, and get that little extra that gets it in front of the people and make them switch to just looking to buying. So that's the key. And hopefully these videos help you do that and sell more postcards. So let's go ahead and take a look at some. I'll do about 3 or 4 cards from the eBay store, and then I'll get into the special topic of vignette postcards. So the first card that sold on eBay was a dry dock boat, the USS Niagara. So there it is right there. I just listed this card the other day and it sold within probably 72 hours. It's an unposted card. It does have a flea market or antique booth cost up there of 25 cents. Don't know when that was put on, but I don't take those off. I let the buyer or the collector do that. But it's just a chrome card of a boat, and that's one example of the type of cards that would sell. The next one is the Thunderbird Motel right here. A lot of people traveled in the 50s, 60s, 70s. That's how they did vacations. You notice it says AAA up there. A lot of postcards were done. So this is the Thunderbird Motel, and that's located in New Orleans, Louisiana. The next card I got is a beach one on the Gulf. It is the Gulf Shore Cottages. Just a chrome card with a road and some cottages. It's an unposted chrome card. So somebody must have stayed there, or that was their vacation spot, and they noticed the postcard, clicked it, bought it, and we'll get that out today to them. Now these always sell. Whenever I see these types of cards in the boxes or at the antique malls or flea markets or whatever, I always pick these up. Doesn't mean I price them up a lot. Like this one is just a chrome card, but it's the Naval Academy in Orlando, Florida, Naval Training Center. But what keys your eyes is all the naval members there lined up, the cadets, and it's an unposted chrome card. But when you see all those people up there, someone probably went through that training school, has a memory, or they just wanted this card, and that's a chrome card as well. So all 4 of those cards were chrome cards. This next one is a historical card. It's the Auditor of Public Accounts Office in the 3rd State House in Vandalia, Illinois. Vandalia, Illinois was the original state capital of Illinois, and before they moved to Springfield. And this is the State Auditor's Public Accounts Office. So it's a touristy card for when you visited that museum. It's a chrome card. Again, another chrome card sold on there. And the last one before I do the special topic, this one is Monticello, the home of Jefferson, Charlottesville, Virginia. A lot of people say these Washington, D.C., Niagara Falls, Grand Canyon cards don't sell, but here's a nice air view of Monticello, and there it is right there is the house, and this is all of the land. It's a chrome card, unposted, and someone picked that up, but they do sell. They're a little longer tail. A lot of the historical cards, etc., will be longer tail on there. So that was about 5 cards. As you notice, they're all chrome cards, are all kind of different. A boat, motels, 2 of them motels, and then Monticello. So trying to guess what people are going to buy. I tried to do that in the beginning when I started postcards, and I was always wrong. I didn't think this card would sell. I put it up, it sold. The ones I thought would sell didn't sell, so I just put them up. There is some that I don't do a lot, like Cypress Gardens, Mount Vernon, I have enough of those cards, but if it is a different type of view than I remember, then I'll put it up. But some of them are, pretty redundant, and I'll put those into the flea market box. I'll sell them at the flea market to a gentleman that picks those up. So let's go ahead and get into the special topic, vignette. So how's that spelled is you'll see it right down here at the bottom. What does vignette mean? It means a picture such as an engraving or photograph that shades off gradually into the surrounding paper. So again, it's a picture such as an engraving or photograph, postcard, that shades off gradually into the surrounding paper. How is it used in postcards, you're saying? This doesn't make sense to me. So postcards, where the picture fades away into a white background. And I'm going to show you an example of that here in a second. But the picture kind of fades into the writing tab. These are older cards, so the picture is going to fade over. And it's popular in the early style with left writing space on the picture side of the card. So here's an example of a vignette postcard where it fades off into the side. Right here, the picture kind of is all here, then it kind of fades away into a circle, and then it turns into the writing space. So that's a vignette postcard. Now a lot of people would say, hey, this is an undivided back card, but really you can add to your title vignette. So that's right there where it fades away into the background on that one. So this is one example of the vignette postcard. The next example is probably a little more clear, and this was done in 1898 is when this was postmarked, and it is an undivided back, but it's got 3 pictures in here, and it kind of fades away into leaving a writing tab into the thing. So vignette is some kind hard to identify, but this is a vignette postcard because it kind of, the pictures are all there and then the writing tabs inside of the picture. So that's a vignette card, and this is one of the older cards I got with that. And the stamp on there is a 2-cent stamp, so I could probably get that for my other video, get it dated down even, into the 1898 period. But those are vignette postcards. So if you put that in your title, I'm not for sure if people would understand what that is, but if you put in your description, explain a little bit more, or just having the knowledge of a vignette postcard when you see it, it can help push some of the cards to have that extra little thing that someone else doesn't have. The price of these cards that I've seen out in there when I see vignette postcards is about $5 to $20. Not a high thought after type. It's a crossover to other types, undivided backs and stuff like that. So they get mixed up a lot. A lot of people aren't going to put vignette out there. But $5 to $20 depends on the subject, the condition, and stuff like that. So, but that's a different type of postcard, vignette. Who knew? A few more cards that were purchased or sold, as people say, but I try to say what people purchased or people bought, what they searched for. A lot of people have searches set up in eBay for years. I have a lot of searches. I live by Kankakee, Illinois, or Bourbonnais. I have searches, and it'll pop up there when a new card is posted and it's identified. And I click on it and see if it's a card I have or one I want. And then I'll either save it or I'll purchase the card. So you want to get into those searches, and that's what, by going through what people purchase, that's how most of these are probably bought, is they're searching for one term. So the next one card that we have that's sold on eBay is Prairie Creek Redwood State Park. It's a Fern Canyon. Right there, it's just a vertical. I call them vertical cards. I don't know if that's all official, but they're not this way. They're this. The picture's this way. It's an unposted chrome card. It's just of some ferns. Maybe someone was there. I don't know. Prairie Creek Redwood State Park. Maybe that's what they searched for, or Fern Canyon on there. But that's a chrome card. Another chrome card sold. The next one is the Old Faithful Inn. This is another one people say doesn't sell, is Yellowstone, Yosemite, Old Faithful. This is the Old Faithful Inn. It's just a chrome card of the inn, and it's an unposted card, chrome card, on there, and someone probably stayed there or wanted it. I would say this is probably 60s or 50s, and it's a nice looking card for the Yellowstone and Upper Geyser Basin of the Old Faithful Inn. So it's one of the park hotels there. The next card, when I saw this sold, I thought it was a Disney, but it's Fantasyland, Division of Battle Creek Swim Pool. It's in Battle Creek, Michigan, and it's kind of a mosaic of a whole bunch of different, it's kind of a busy card with a bunch of pictures on there, but it's Fantasyland. So it's got a Christmas tree and stuff like that, so someone from Battle Creek or something like that probably saw it, but that's just another Chrome card, unposted, that someone searched for and they found Battle Creek. Now the next one is animals. Whenever you put an animal in there, make sure you try to get as specific as possible, because people aren't going to look for birds. They're going to look for these, or sandhill cranes, or robins, or cardinals. So this one was sandhill cranes in Big Country in Harney County, Oregon. Is just a bunch of sandhill cranes. So maybe someone's going to frame this, or they're going to use it in school, a teacher, or they're going to make a craft out of it, or just keep it. A sandhill crane. Some people like the wildlife and how to show it to their kids or whatever. But that's a Chrome card from Oregon and on there. The next one is another hotel. Now, like I said, people traveled, they stayed. If you look at this, it's just got a lot of blue sky. It's got some writing up there, and it's got the hotel in the distance. So whoever did this photograph didn't get real close up. They took more of the blue sky. And this is the Western Home Motel in Liberal, Kansas. It's got 30 units. It's just a Chrome card. It does have some wear on the edges and stuff and a little curled corners, but not too bad. It has a little pricing up on top. Like I said, I don't take it off, but it's just another Chrome card that's sold. And then the last card that's sold, because the zip code is going to take a little while to go through, is Rutherford, New Jersey. Modern superhighway through the gander of autumn. So this is a highway, just a highway. It's a road. It's a postcard of a road. Someone stood out on the side and took a picture and put it on a postcard. But what he got in there, he's got the autumn trees and stuff like that. So maybe somebody knows what this is. Maybe they worked on the road. They lived by it. It's 1964 when it was posted. So, you know, probably made in the early 60s, late 50s. And it's got, you know, 4-cent stamp. But that's just a Chrome card of a road. A lot of people wouldn't post this card to sell. I list everything, if I can, and try to get on there. So those are all the cards that sold on eBay, Etsy, and Hip. Gives you a good variety. All of these cards were Chrome cards. They probably sold between $4 and $5 because they're just pretty standard cards. Once in a while, I'll get some of my more expensive cards sold, which is nice. A Disney card that are priced up a little bit. But these right here is about $50 in sales just overnight. I do have a lot of other cards that I sold during the day and to add to the batch. But just right there, real quick, Chrome cards, that's $40. If you do that 10 times, that's $400. And there's 30 days in a month, and times 3, that's $1,200 in postcard and Chrome cards that you could sell. That you're buying these Chrome cards in lots of, maybe for 5 cents or 10 cents, 15 cents a piece. That's how you can grow your business, is on the smaller ones. If you're looking for the $10, the $50, $100 cards, when I go out looking at boxes at the flea markets and stuff, a lot of them already been picked through by the seller or other people. A lot of the good cards are gone. Yeah, they might miss a few here or there that I know about that they don't know about, but they're harder to find. They're getting harder to find. Estate sales are probably the best to find them, or someone with a collection that approaches you is where you can get some of the good cards, or you come across that one, you know, diamond in the rough. So, but that's what sold overnight in those 3 stores. People get caught up in thinking they have to be a total expert on postcards. They have to have been doing it for years. They have to know everything about it. There's so much. There is just so much you can look at postcards. That's what makes it so fascinating. But one of the easiest ways to learn postcards and get up on the playing field of knowing what, you know, what to look for and what to sell and just get into the hobby is the terminology. So I've constantly in these videos putting a term up, and today I picked one that everybody knows, zip code. Now down here I'll put what it is. Zip code, Zoning Improvement Plan Code. That's what the official term is. It's a series of designated numbers added to the address to aid in sorting and speed of delivery. As mail volume increased and service became less personal, the U.S. Post Office Department found that its ability to match address to location even more difficult. If you saw some of the earlier addresses, you know, they say Mary Jones, Kankakee, Illinois. Everybody knew Mary Jones because it was a small town. But as it grew, they just didn't know where these places, who they were. There might be two Mary Jones. Germany started coding their mail in 1941. The United States came up with its own two-digit zone, not what we have today, a two-digit zone number system in May of 1943, 2 years later. It did not take long for this simple system to grow inadequate. A whole new distribution system was then developed based on a 5-digit number added to the address that we see today. Now there is some other numbers on there, I'm going to get to that. Zip codes would make use of a new sectional mail center set up only for sorting. So that's what they're going to be used for, is the sectional mail centers. The first digit represents a basic geographical area within the United States. So the first digit of the zip code, like here it's 6. So all the towns here have 6 in the first digit. The next 2 digits designate the population center, such as a city. The last 2 digits designate specific small town post offices or postal zones within the city. So the first digit, geographic, the second and third digit, population center, such as a city, and then the fifth number, small town post office or postal zones within the cities. This system was instituted in July 1st, 1963, and remained voluntary until 1967, when sorting requirements began to improve, or be imposed. In 1983, the zip plus 4 was introduced, adding to an additional 4 numbers onto the zip code. So in 1983, you got the 5-digit code, and then you got the 4-4 code on there. The 6th and 7th number are a delivery sector, which can be a group of streets or a single high-rise. So just think of a high-rise that has 2,000 units. That's a small town in itself that they have to deliver mail for. So why don't they get their own zip plus 4 code? So all the mail can be routed to that truck, and they pull in once a day, and it goes into the mail room there, and it goes upstairs. And the final 2 numbers are the delivery segment, which can be as small as 1 floor or an office building. So when you look at a zip code, those numbers have a lot to do with how it's routed to the sorting machines and stuff like that on there. So if you can get the zip plus 4, it gets you even closer. But the post offices know who people are and where they live. People do move, but a lot of people do stay in their house long enough where people know. But that's the little history on the zip code, and it is very important in the United States to route through there. And then some countries do have different types of sorting. If you send internationally, you want to make sure on there. Zip code. Who knew? To some of the viewer comments. So in our videos on YouTube, there's different sections. One of the sections I have is the description. Down in the description I have some links, some affiliate links where if you purchase something, the channel gets a little additional funds. Not a lot, but it does help the channel. But there's no cost to you. A lot of people ask me where I get the envelopes and stuff like that. So I said, hey, I'll just punch you over to eBay and part of the partner program. So if you look down there, you'll see some of those links. We have some other things. I got some links to some of the more popular videos that we put out in there. Then also in the videos, there's a comment section. So if you have any comments about postcards, or you want to share a story or share some of the things you do, put them in there. And if when I go through these videos, I randomly take them out. Some of them that will spur a conversation. So feel free to leave any comments, and I'll try to respond to them, or other people will too. So the first comment I got is, This was a video about dating postcards. The viewer said, I so needed this. Thank you so much. Well, thank you. I like those comments. I do have a question if you don't mind. I have quite a few postcard albums. Postcard albums are those books that you put postcards in. Would it be better to sell as a whole album, or should I tear out the postcards and sell them singles? Just wanted to hear your opinion. So first, my opinion is whenever I get albums, I want to make sure they're not glued in. If they're glued in, it's that glue that pulls the paper off and everything like that, then I will sell the album as is. For the presentation I want to do when I sell a postcard, I don't pull them out of the books or sell cards with a lot of that glue on the back. I'll bring them to the flea market. But if they're glued in, then the album goes the same. Now, when you sell albums, they are heavy. They can be heavy. So you want to price it where with the shipping, it's worthwhile to the buyer. If they're really, really good cards and they're glued in, you want to make sure you get your money for what those rare cards are. But also you will need to describe in the description, I would put in there that they are glued in very clearly, that if you pull them out, you could damage the card, but they are glued in to these pages. If they are not glued in and they're just tabbed in and they're in good condition, I will take them all out of the photo album, and most of the time I pitch those albums because they're not acid-free paper, they got the musty smell or whatever. But if it's a good album, I'll bring it to the flea market and sell it there for a couple bucks. But otherwise, that's what I would do with the albums. But albums are a great place at estate sales, or even on eBay or other places. Look for albums, the smaller ones, because could be some good cards in there. Because that's how they displayed it years ago, is they would sit down at the fire at night and go through their postcards, and they were in albums. Next comment is, this was one of the videos, and another great video, Mark. Thank you. When you do your listings, do you use any of the best offer automation on eBay? So it depends on the card. Now, like the Chrome cards I just sold here, I don't have a big margin on those cards, or lower value cards. I do not use best offer. The time and the money and the margin I have on there to go back and forth with a customer for a $4 to $5 card is just not what I want to do with the time that I got invested with it. Not saying I wouldn't take an offer, or if someone asked me a question, I do have a certain level that I won't go down more than that, because there's postage, there's time and stuff like that. But I don't put best offer on the lower volume cards, value cards. Now, if it's a $20 to $50, $100 card, most certainly I will probably put best offer on there, because you want to go high and then see what the market will bear. If you just put a price on there, you might be too low, you might be too high. Or if you go a little high and you put best offer on it, kind of turns it into an auction a little bit with one customer. So I will use the best offer option there. Then we'll get promoting your listings and best offer confused. They are two totally separate things. I do promote all of our cards, even the smaller ones get a percentage. That just gives you another tool to use to see if you can sell one of the cards. It doesn't take a lot out. If you do 1-2%, you might not get on top of the stack on there, but I've done it since the beginning, and it's all figured into my margin and my cost to promote the cards. But to answer the question, lower value cards, no, I don't use best offer. Higher value cards, yes, I will consider best offer. You always want to try to, there's 9 million cards, over 9 million cards listed on eBay, and there's other sites. You always want to try to get on top of the stack, get on the first page of the search, get in front of people. People buy postcards by sight, not all by title and stuff, but title will help you in searches. Pictures will help you when people are just looking through thousands of postcards. Descriptions will help you if they get down to the point of are they going to buy or not buy. Descriptions might say there's a little glue on the back. They might not consider to buy that then. Or it's a clean card, you can put notes in there. But if you put big long stories in your descriptions, they're going to go to the next seller. That's just how it works nowadays. I don't put a lot in the descriptions. My condition statement is pretty straightforward, standard. If there is a rip in the card or something like that, then I'll add that to the condition statement. But if you want to see one, go to SMPostcards.com and you can go in and you can copy and paste that description that I use. It's been modified over time, adjusted here and there, and so far I've had no issues with it over the years selling postcards using those descriptions. Now once in a while you will get some people that say it wasn't as described. You know, we have a hassle-free refund for everything for 60 days. If they don't like the card when they get it, just send it back. You know, we'll refund you. There's no hassle, there's no questions. Just say you don't like the card. People are buying pictures, flat picture off of eBay. They don't get to touch it, whatever. So even the higher price, I do it the same thing on toys. 60 days free refunds, and my refund rate, I don't remember the last time I really had a refund for item not described. I would probably say months ago. They come in spurts, and you just got to deal with each one as it comes in. So that's all I got for today. Make sure you check our other videos. Hit that subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up. Share these videos out. Get more people into the channel. It'll help a lot. And we really appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next ones.